Let's take a look at our 60-minute chart of the S&P 500 as we look at what happened during this week and what the news items were that drove the markets. The biggest move that came was really early in the week after the news came out that the Congress, the Republicans and Democrats came out with an agreement to reopen the government. And you could see we got a big pop right in there. And that was kind of the biggest day of the week as we had that big jump. And then chop really started to come into the market. Some news came out that the president is imposing tariffs on solar panels and washing machines, and there's already some sense of some backlash on that, of course. Bank of Japan came out and said no change. There was a big earthquake and some tsunami warnings. So we had this decline right over here that absolutely didn't last, and then the markets popped back and kind of moved sideways on Tuesday. Wednesday was a day that Mnuchin came out and said that he backs the weaker dollar. Gold, of course, jumped. It really exploded that day. It had a couple of big up days Tuesday and Wednesday and then started to settle back. And then trade war talk started to heat up and bonds started to break in the downside, and a big reversal in tech stocks as they had a very big drop in here. You could see the same thing happened in here on Thursday also. Part of that was Caterpillar, as Cat reversed down after a big beat on earnings, and that kind of spooked the markets. There were some other stocks that came out with some pretty good earnings, Boeing, Triple M, Goldman Sachs. That gave the early lift, but really couldn't hold up the market at all. And then we had this bounce in the dollar right over here and big reversal in the dollar that was down early in the morning on Thursday, and the euro currency was up, and they kind of switched places. And that looks like we think a little short-term bottom coming in the dollar. We'll show you that as we get into our short-term view. Then overnight in here, we saw the markets just creep to the upside. GDP came out up 2.6%. That was a bit lower, but as you could see, no issue whatsoever as the stock market continues up. And here, as we do this with 2 hours left to go in the day, you can see that the stock market is right now sitting at an all-time high. So that's what happened on the 60-minute chart, and you can see that there's basically nothing that was able to stop this market from moving pretty significantly to the upside. So the last thing we're going to look at is the stock market in here. As we said, there is no cyclicality whatsoever, money pouring into the stock market and equity markets around the world, and that has prevented any of the what we call normal cycle corrections to come. They have been extremely modest, and the rallies extremely long based on what would be normal. Right now, well, that's 14 right there, so we're 16 days into this advance. That is off of this cyclical low right over here. That's longer than this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. Well, this one actually was a little bit more. So this is an extraordinary situation. Again, what we're looking for is a minor decline right in here. Maybe test this area of about 2820-ish. In the top of the slim ribbon, or the 13-day moving average coming to that minor support, which is around 2814 now, and then moving to the upside again. So we're going to call just minor pullbacks in here, and that's the highest odds is what we're looking at. And if you look at these patterns in here, they have just continued to be these modest little pullbacks, and that's where we are right now, expecting that modest pullback and then that upward move. Just crazy as we look at this, and it's for somebody like me who believes in market rhythms, this is just as difficult as it ever gets. That is just a super strong minor pullback is what we're looking for. Take a look here at the Nasdaq. And you can see that, well, it's the same story, right? Minor pullback in here, likely to get down to, well, we'll call it maybe about 68, 70-ish or so. And that would be the kind of the worst scenario that we could see based on this minor pullback that's expected in here, and then another rally. But then we believe that after that next rally, it's going to start to suffer. So we have some more pessimistic looking forecasts in there moving forward, and this might be just too pessimistic, but we're following that green pattern, that dashed pattern there on the bottom, and at this point there's no reason for us not to believe that it resolves itself more like this right over there. So this is the pessimistic outlook. This is the outlook based on what the markets have been doing so far, and we'll see which one of those come true. Kind of wanted to show you both of them, the pessimistic and the one that follows the patterns that have been going on right now. One more thing I want to show you, our market condition indicator, which I haven't put up here in a long time, which it's built on multiple time frames. It's an amazing indicator, and usually when there's some market fluctuations, you'll see something in here that is really valuable, but in this case, this just tells a story. Here are all 4 of the major stock market indexes. And what happens normally is there's fluctuations. A bullish situation would get it moving down towards the 0 line. This is called the swing zone between 25 and minus 25, and then move up again, and then move down, and then move up again. This has been pinned up here at nearly 100%. You can see the Russell doing the same thing, the Nasdaq doing the same thing, the Dow doing the same thing. This shows internals on a multiple time frame basis that are as strong as I have ever seen them, and continuously it hasn't been changing whatsoever. So just an amazing thing that we see there in these strong markets that are just bulls loving it, momentum traders loving it, and the short side traders, option traders that believe in selling premium, and those that believe in mean reversion. Well, every one of those struggling as much as they ever have. I've seen markets like this before, I tell you, and they don't end pretty, but if you get in the way of them, well, your account doesn't look pretty either. I hope you enjoyed that video. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also go to AskSlim.com and become a Level 1 member. No cost to you, and we have some special videos for you to see. I know you'll enjoy them.